giving prasadam and taking prasadam, accepting prasadam and eating prasadam, and also giving gifts and accepting gifts. So we give gifts to devotees sometimes, maybe for their birthday. And but confidential conversations, I think they don't go on very much. And we sometimes have confidential conversations with those we trust, or maybe sometimes with our Guru Maharaj. But sometimes devotees even don't want to tell their Guru how they feel, because they are not sure how he will react. They are afraid to tell their Guru their deepest problems or their deepest weaknesses. And although Guru sometimes knows, he sometimes knows, but disciple needs to be willing to speak about this and to ask about this and to ask for help. I had certain things to discuss, and we will also have exercises which will be usually in pairs. So I hope this will be helpful for you. So let us read some of the quotes by Srila Prabhupada about confidential conversations. I have 4 pages of quotes, but I will not read them all because they explain the similar point. Guyam akyati prichati. One way to understand Guyam akyati prichati is that experienced devotee explains and an inexperienced devotee learns from him. So maybe you already do this if you are a mentor. Maybe you already, the devotee asks you a question, you explain, you share your experience. So this is, senior devotees share their experience so much. We have a lot of this. Then, one should inquire about the Krishna consciousness movement and open his mind in order to understand the situation of this material world. Thus, the Guyam akyati prichati principles can be served. So this conversation here, it has to do with general things like situation in the material world. And what is your understanding? What is your perception? And now further, Srila Prabhupada explains, if you love somebody, you must disclose your mind to him, and he should disclose his mind to you. So this point, Prabhupada is repeating many times. You should not keep anything secret within your mind. And your beloved should not keep anything secret within his or her mind. So one symptom of love is complete openness. But sometimes people are in a close relationship officially, but they don't share with each other everything. Sometimes they share it with a psychiatrist, or they share it with somebody else. Guyam Akati Prichati means opening one's mind to your beloved. So Guyam means very confidential things. And Akyati means disclosing. Telling, disclosing. You must disclose your innermost thoughts to your beloved. And he will disclose his innermost thoughts to you. So this is a symptom of love, that there is no secrecy. Now, another from the lecture, Srila Prabhupada, you disclose your mind to Krishna and he will give you direction also. So this loving exchange principle is applicable to also to Krishna. So for example, you can speak to Krishna. You can speak to the deities. You can write a letter to Krishna. As you would write a letter to a human being. So this is a universal principle. It applies to Krishna and to everybody else. Then Srila Prabhupada says, you have to hear Bhagavad Gita, and if you have got any distress, you have got any confidential thing, you have to submit to Krishna. Krishna, I am suffering in this way. I am fallen in this tossing ocean of material illusion. Kindly save me. I can understand now that I have no identification with this material world. I am simply put here. So here Srila Prabhupada explains how we disclose our mind to Krishna. It's so nice. Prabhupada gives us everything. How to do things, how to relate to Krishna. You must disclose your mind to another person, and you must hear from another person, or from your lover. He says your lover. If your lover is also in some difficulty, he or she discloses his mind. You should not keep anything secret within your mind, and your lover should not keep anything secret within his mind or her mind. So again, no secrets in a loving relationship. I open my mind to you, you also inquire confidential things from me, or I inquire from you. Guyam Akati Prichati Cha. Now also, Srila Prabhupada speaks about other people. He says, and they also come here to inquire. Swamiji, your movement is very nice. What is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of that? So they express their mind. Or they explain, this is my position, I cannot do it, how can I do it? So for example, if somebody says, I am in such a position that I cannot practice Krishna consciousness freely at home or at my job, so how can I do it? They inquire from devotees or from the spiritual master. So this is already more personal, more confidential when they start to inquire like this, when people start to inquire like this. If I'm in trouble, I express my mind, I open my mind before you, and you also try to help me. Disclose your mind to your friend and understand his mind or her mind. You disclose your mind. There is no secrecy between the lover and the beloved. And the other party also discloses, the other person also discloses her mind. In this way, love becomes manifest. Then another example, opening your mind. My dear lover, I like this. And the other party also opens his mind. Guyam means very confidential things. Akyati, disclosed, or it means also exchanged. Disclosed or exchanged. So one discloses and other discloses. Guyam, Akyati, Prichati, Cha. Then also part of this is understanding other people, understanding how they think, understanding what they feel. If you love somebody, you disclose your mind to him and try to understand him. You try to understand his heart, and your heart can be disclosed to him or her. So understand how they think, but if you understand somebody's heart, that means you understand how they feel. Open your mind and know the other party's mind also. This is love. The more you increase the 6 kinds of exchange, there is increase in the love. So this is from Prabhupada's lectures, conversations. He was speaking about this principle, Guyam, Akyati, Prichati. You disclose your mind, my dear such and such, I love you, this is my ambition. If I love you, and if I have got some secrecy, and I don't disclose it to you, that is not perfect love. I must deal with you open-hearted, and you must deal with me open-hearted. Then there is love. This is one of the basic principles. So Srila Prabhupada is teaching us how to have a loving relationship. Another, also in relation to Krishna, you try to understand God and He'll explain what He is, and you try to understand. So basically when we read scriptures or when we listen from the pure devotee about Krishna, this is also considered to be a loving exchange. He is explaining, Krishna is explaining how He is. You try to understand Him. This is also part of a loving exchange. Unless you love me, how can I speak to you my confidential subject matter? Prabhupada said this in a conversation with the parliament member, Indian parliament member, Ram Jethmalani, in 1977. And we have a couple of more. You must disclose your mind, and you must also hear the other person disclosing their mind. And then, if your beloved is in some difficulty, you must listen when he discloses his mind. this is from the Back to Godhead magazine, a few quotes. And the last will be from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur from the book Sri Bhaktya Loka. Guyam means very confidential things, opening one's mind to the beloved, and Akyati means disclosing. You must disclose your innermost thoughts to your beloved, and he'll disclose his innermost thoughts to you. This is a Srila Prabhupada lecture that we already mentioned, but it's published in the BTG. Disclose your mind and know the other party's mind. This is love. The more you increase these 6 kinds of loving exchange, the more you increase the love. This is the same one, okay? And now from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, from Bhakti Aloka, this is the last quote. Revealing one's mind, hearing one's mind, hearing the person's mind, speaking confidentially, hearing confidentially. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, one should not speak confidentially with the materialist. Generally, there is some love involved in confidential speaking. Therefore, it is association. While meeting a materialistic friend, one should speak only what is extremely necessary. At that time, it is better not to exhibit heartfelt love. But if that friend is a proper Vaishnava, then one should accept his association by speaking to him with love. This type of behavior with relatives and friends creates no hostility. Hostility means enmity, like enemy. There is no association in ordinary talk. One should behave with ordinary people as one externally behaves with a stranger, while buying something in the market. The same dealings with the pure devotee of the Lord should be done out of love. So this is Sangatyaga, is one of the principles, 6 principles of success described in Upadeshamrita. Sri Bhakti Aloka is Bhaktivinoda Thakur's commentary on Upadeshamrita verses. Okay, so I have discovered that I have some double quotes here, so I'll delete them. So as you can see, the importance of confidential conversations is stressed here very much. And one thing I will also share with you or teach you while I'm here is called success partnership. It's supposed to open like this. It's supposed to open like this. Oops. Yeah? Okay. If it gets cold, you tell me and we will close it. So what is success partnership? Success partnership is when 2 devotees talk, but half of the time, one devotee has a role of a coach or a mentor, and half of the time he has a role of a client or a disciple or whatever. So two friends can switch roles like this. I mentioned this yesterday. And I'm not speaking in theory. I'm actually doing this myself. And those who do it with me, including myself, find it very helpful. Over the past 10 years, I have been traveling around Europe, trying to help to establish mentoring systems in temples. And it's very difficult to start it, and very difficult to find devotees who want to be mentors. Because they don't have time, or maybe they don't have a desire, or maybe they are struggling themselves. So I was thinking, how can devotees help each other? And then I found in the professional world that they have this peer coaching. You understand? Peer. Peer coaching means coaching amongst equals, or amongst colleagues, or amongst partners, or peer means one who is of the same age, but it doesn't have to be the same age. Yeah, peer usually it means one of the same age, but it doesn't have to be of the same age. So it can be, age doesn't matter, it just, you need the desire to help the other devotee. And now, if you're a senior and you're afraid that if you reveal your weaknesses to the junior, they will not think high of you. But if they think high of you, it's artificial. You understand? No. German? You understand better German? Somebody can translate sometimes if you don't understand. But you look a little bit like... it's very important to understand that if senior devotee thinks that you will think less of him if he reveals to you his weaknesses, then this is artificial. If I tell you something about my weaknesses, then you think, oh, Akrura Prabhupada is actually so fallen. And then I say, yes, it's true. But actually, I think that those who are serious in Krishna consciousness, they are not afraid to admit that they are weaknesses, because then they can get help. So let's say I try to keep my image in front of you that I am a great devotee, very powerful, very knowledgeable, unbreakable, strong. And then you're an illusion, because I have so many weaknesses. So I wanted to give a seminar called The Syndrome of Senior Devotee. To just, destroy this concept that I'm a senior devotee. So I have to present myself as a senior devotee. It's funny, but we have tendency to do that, to present ourselves better than we are. And we all wear masks. You know masks? I wrote once on my Facebook, makeup is a mask. And then I think one Mataji, she commented, but it looks nice.
But it looks nice?
It looks nice. Because if you put makeup, you want to look nicer. I mean, it's okay, you can do that. For Krishna, I mean, hopefully, it's for Krishna. So there is, makeup is just but gross mask. But we have other masks that are more dangerous. Masks. So we present ourselves, we have image, we create reputation, we create image. And devotees tell you, Prabhu, you are so great. And then you say, well, Krishna knows how not great I am. So don't be in illusion. Don't be in illusion. So we are all in the hospital. We are all in the hospital. So it's so liberating when you give up your masks. I am a senior devotee. I'm 37 years in Krishna consciousness. You should respect me. And this is all artificial. This is artificial. Bhagavatam says, Shvavid varaho shtrakarayir samstuta purusha pashu. What does that mean? You know? Varaha? Pig. Vid is a dog. Shvavid. Shva is a dog. Shva, vid. I'm not. Dog, cat, camel, and ass. You know, dog, cat, camel, and ass. This Bhagavatam says, this is the state of the mind of the materialist. So sometimes you feel like this, dog, cat, camel, and ass. Prabhupada gives a long purport to that verse. It's pure nectar. He criticizes everybody like anything. So you say, Prabhuji, you're so great. And I give you this verse, Shvavid varaho shtrakarai samstuta purusha pashu. Look, this verse describes my greatness. Okay? And you say, oh my God, I don't want to make offenses. So if we speak about this equality, and if I tell something to another devotee, it's not. This is all artificial. This is not Krishna consciousness. This is some strange, like materialistic idea that I have to present myself to be better than I am. That's useless. That's completely useless. Sometimes younger devotees come and they are so bright and they're so Krishna conscious. So they are very respectful to me. And I say, well, maybe this is my first life after many millions of lifetimes that I practice Krishna consciousness, and you have been practicing for so many lives before. You just came a little later than me, so we don't know who is more advanced here. We don't know. You may be more advanced than me, and let's see how you advance over the next years. But I see that you are very bright and very Krishna conscious and very sincere. And I think you're a better devotee than me. And then they feel embarrassed a little bit, but it's okay. So now, today's session, you want to help others, but today's session, I want to dedicate to helping yourself first. If you want to help others, you have to help yourself first. There are two, in the world we can divide the whole humanity in two groups. Doctors and patients. So in which group do you belong?
Definitely patients.
So another metaphor is heroes and victims. Heroes and victims. So I'm sick. And then when you are sick, people give you attention. Yo, do you need the medicine? Or do you need this and this? And you really enjoy it. Oh, it's good when I'm sick, then everybody gives me attention. And some people really like to be saviors and heroes and doctors. They enjoy it more. Some people enjoy being a victim and a patient, and some people enjoy being a hero and a doctor. And some people have both roles, and probably most of us have both roles. Both roles. But maybe we don't enjoy any of them. So you see, you can choose to be a patient forever. So you have so many doctors. And you know, I need like 12 doctors, like 12 Mahajans. So, you know, Lord Shiva will help me with my tamoguna. Lord Shiva will help me with my tamoguna. Lord Brahma will help me with my rajaguna. And Narada Muni will help me with the motor goodness. And then other Mahajans can help me with other anarthas or something. So you can choose what do you want to be. Do you want to be a doctor or a patient? And in this success partnership, I propose that you take two roles, to be both a coach and a client, helper and helped. I propose both roles because we have these two roles. We have them. It's natural. But you can strive for another role more intensely. You know, you can really try to be a patient and go to so many doctors. Sometimes devotees go to hundreds of healers, and you know, I know one father brought his son to so many doctors. Ordinary doctors, alternative doctors, healers, shamans, gurus, brahmanas, yagya brahmanas, and nothing helped this boy. And then he brought him to India, to one ashram, and just left him there. I mean, I think the boy agreed, it was not forced. He's a young boy. And after some time, the boy recovered completely. So many years. And I also tried to help him. But he didn't want my help. We just talked if I would start helping him. He didn't want. So after some years, he was left in the ashrama, and he recovered completely. And I met father later and the boy. And I asked the boy, what made you change? Because he was so desperate. He was so depressed, so hopeless and helpless. And he said, I understood. If I continue like this, I will die. So it was awakening, a moment of awakening. So how can you help yourself first? What do you think? Yeah?
So nice thing that as the first step is to love yourself.
Okay. And if you love yourself, what do you do?
This is a good question, and I'm not so far.
Yep.
You be honest to yourself.
Very nice. To first become honest. So honestly observe yourself. Yes? You?
I wanted to say the same.
Oh, fantastic. We have a double confirmation that being honest to yourself is the beginning of health. You see? Yes?
First we want to be treated. We want to know that we are ill, that we are crazy, and that we need
Treated.
treatment.
We need treatment.
That is honest.
to be honest, to the internet audience, I want to bring this closer. Okay, yeah, okay. So, you see, we think that Bhagavad Gita begins with 2:13. Dehinasmin yata lehe. But actually, I think that Bhagavad Gita begins with 2:7. Shishaste ham shadimam tvam prapadam. The first success principle in the Bhagavad Gita is not that we are not this body, but it is that we need help. And Arjuna admits. He admits that he needs help. So he's such a powerful person. Can you imagine? I mean, we will never be like Arjuna. And we have a difficulty admitting that we need help. So you're in the moment where you can get so much help, but because you don't trust anybody, you are not taking it. And you don't reveal your mind, as it is said here. You're not sure if these people will exploit you or they will publish on the internet your weaknesses. So therefore, if you are a helper, you need to be confidential. So to be honest, and now other people can help us to honestly look at ourselves more objectively. Because we cannot see ourselves objectively, we can see ourselves subjectively. So sometimes the other person can tell you how they see you. Now, what is a bold question to ask yourself? Okay, internet people, you want to see who is here? Oh, I cannot pull it up, it's fixed. Sorry. It's fixed, I cannot pull it up. So what is the bold question that you can ask yourself if you want to help yourself? Come on, you know it, for sure. Bold question. Brave question. Unpleasant question.
If I want to be instructed or not, if I want to be helped or not.
Okay, if I want to be helped or not?
Surrender, please help.
If I want to be helped or not? Yes, okay. And why should I be helped? Because I need to
Recover.
Love.
Recover.
what?
Recover.
What? Recover.
Recover.
Recover, that's a good, we are coming close to the correct answer. We are coming closer. I need to recover. What does it mean? I need to? Huh?
To clean my soul.
To what?
To clean my soul.
Clean my soul. This is also close to the correct answer. Very good. Okay, anyway, this is a similar point. So we need to change. But I'm not telling you now that you need to change your behavior and your habits. First thing we need to change, if we want to help ourselves, is what?
View.
What?
The view.
Exactly. Perception. How do we see life? How do we see ourselves? Excellent. How do we see the world? How do we see what is happening to us? If you see it in the eyes of the scriptures, like Gita glasses, you put Bhagavad Gita glasses, you can see everything differently. So first change is a change in the mindset and the perception. Then you can change your habits and behaviors. Now regarding habits, we all struggle with our habits. So what is the secret of self-discipline? Or what is the secret to overcome laziness? Or tamoguna, yes?
Do the same thing over and over again at the same time.
Before that you need something in order to even start that. So the answer was to do the same thing over and over again, in other words, the practice. That was the answer. And I said before that you need something. Huh? Will? What? What? Motivation? Goal? Yes, motivation or inspiration. Inspiration. When you have inspiration, you are unstoppable. Isn't it? If you are inspired, there is no obstacles, almost no obstacles when you are inspired to do something. But when you're not inspired, everything is hard. Everything is so hard. And you're pushing yourself and you're dragging along and it's so difficult. But when you're inspired, you get intelligence how to get things. You get intelligence how to get people, whoever you want, whatever you want. So we can help ourselves if we become inspired about spiritual advancement, about helping others, about preaching, about improving ourselves, and about making a significant contribution. But to do that, we have to change the way we think and change the way we see. And Shastra is teaching us how to change our thinking and how to change our perception. So basically, if you want to help others, you need to take help. And you will also learn by how others are helping you, how to help others. Yes? You get your hand up, Prabhuji.
Yes, I wanted to ask the question if it's really necessary to get inspired without the help of others. Because we can only get inspired by ourselves, no? Because it has to come from Krishna. It has to come from Krishna from the inside that we get inspired. I thought.
You can get inspired as you like. Whatever inspires you, you don't have to. You can get inspired as you like. Whatever inspires you, you don't have to get inspired in a specific way. There is no hard and fast rules.
Yeah.
But it's so, you see, if you become like a helper, after some time you think, I don't need help because I'm helping others. So this is dangerous. If you become a helper, this is one of the dangers, that you start to think that you don't need help anymore. Because you are helping others. This is the danger. This is an illusion. So every doctor has to be a patient sometimes. And therefore this kind of success partnership puts you in the one session in two roles. So we say that the first success principle is that I need help first, and then try to get systematic help, regular help. To get, what does that mean? Regular help. Like you have a therapy, regular therapy, regular medicine. Then after some time you see the effects of the therapy, of the healing. So regularly check how are you doing by talking to someone. How are you thinking? Where you are stuck. And not once a year, or once every 3 months, or once every 6 months, but at least once a week. Sometimes more, it's needed. So now you may say, what does that mean when I talk to someone once a week about myself? It means you have an appointment with yourself. And the other person is helping you to see where you are. Now, Bhagavad Gita mentions introspection. So if somebody listens to you, then you can be introspective. You can think deeply about your life. Introspect means look within, isn't it? Look within. So to look within, okay, where is my heart? How much there is 6 highway robbers, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Mada, Matsarya. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Matsarya, Mada, Moha, and Moha. So, and how much there is love in my heart, how much there is fear in my heart. You can check. Heart check. Then, very important check, how is your relationship with Krishna? Do you love Krishna? Do you think of Krishna at all? I mean, you do externally so many things in Krishna consciousness, but do you remember Krishna sometimes? Do you think of him? Do you think of your loving relationship with him? Dress doesn't make you a devotee. Dhoti doesn't make you a devotee, but also Western clothes doesn't make you a devotee. Krishna East, Krishna West, Krishna is the best. A holy name is the best. So whether you have trousers or dhoti, you chant Hare Krishna. And don't fight with other devotees about clothes. So you want to check where you are. And recently I had an amazing conversation with a devotee from Germany, which helped me so much to see where I am. I know 2 swamis in ISKCON, swamis, who meet once a year for 3-4 days and then have a mutual coaching. I would put them in the category of softer swamis. Softer swamis. They are softer swamis. But they help each other a lot by speaking confidentially. I was very happy to hear this from one of them. Mutual coaching, mutual mentoring, mutual support, mutual listening, mutual discussion. So, what I propose is these success partnerships for you. Because at the moment, if you don't have a mentor, so you can create a success partnership with another devotee and develop a very deep relationship. And in this way, you can always have support, and then you can support others. So do you have any questions about this about your own, first your own protection, your own development, your own support? That was one topic from today, and another is the importance of confidential exchange, confidential conversations. Yes.
Do you think that confidential exchange always creates a loving relationship? Or does it sometimes not work?
Well, if the confidentiality is broken, then it doesn't create loving relationship. It creates doubts and fear and distance. If confidentiality is broken, Prabhupada says part of a loving relationship is these confidential conversations and no secrecy. So it can, I mean, sometimes people say, tell me everything. Then they tell you something horrible about themselves. Then you start to hate them. So it's risky. Or that you ask, tell me everything you see in me, and then they tell you that they see some bad qualities in you, and then it creates distance. So it's also possible. But if people are honest, they can actually swallow when other people tell them that they see something wrong. They can swallow it, they can be grateful for that. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta has said, don't look at the faults of others, but look at your own faults. So that's the most difficult thing to do. It's easier to give advice to others than to yourself. So therefore, if you want to be a good helper, first help yourself by becoming honest. You said it yourself. First principle, becoming honest with yourself. Powerful. Bible says, and the truth will set you free. And I added to this, but first it will mess you up. Or first it will disturb you. You may be shocked. Oh, I didn't know I'm so bad. They told me, and I think it's true. I didn't know I'm so weak. I thought I'm much better, much stronger. So therefore, we have a reality check from time to time to see where we stand in relation to Krishna, in relation to devotees, in relation to ourselves, in relation to purification. And for this, you need to be bold, you need to be brave, you need to be a spiritual warrior, you need to be a spiritual hero. Otherwise, you can be hiding from the truth forever. So you ask Krishna, Krishna, what do I need to change? And then he tells you through somebody else. And then you think, oh, this devotee is my enemy. But you ask for it. It just didn't come from the mouth of the deity. Imagine you dance in front of the deities, and deities look at you and say, you are in Maya. And you say, Krishna, how can you be so harsh with me? Krishna says, I love you, but you are still in Maya, sorry. Just we have to do something about it. Just chant better rounds. Sometimes I feel like this when I come in front of the altar. Krishna is very kind and loving, but he also tells me the truth. So, I have to swallow it. Everyone is special. Everyone is amazing. But sometimes it's amazing how foolish somebody is. Isn't it? Why? Because we repeat the same mistakes again and again. That's foolish. Okay, any other questions or comments? We have 2 more minutes. Okay, I want to reveal you a great success secret. Maybe last time I also did this. The greatest success secret I know is this. It's called daily practice. If you want to be successful in anything, in dealing with yourself, in dealing with others, you need to practice. There is no shortcut. There is no shortcut. You need to practice. That's the greatest success secret. Arjuna said, "Oh, it's impossible to control the mind. It's like a wind. Trying to stop the wind with your hands." And Krishna says, by practice and detachment, it's possible. So it's the principle from the Gita, practice. By practice, you can do impossible things. So you start helping yourself tonight by praying to Krishna to help you to help yourself. Sometimes helping yourself means asking others for help. Also. And self-help is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita purport 6:24. Self-help is not a new concept. Prabhupada says, God helps those who help themselves at the end of the purport. 6:24. God helps those who help themselves. So how are you going to help yourself so you can serve others and help others? You think about it. Thank you. Hare Krishna.